Hey guys, Ammy here. This week we are bandaging cheese. Now this was supposed to be part of this cheese's video, but this cheese has taken me like over a week to dry. So yeah, we're doing this as a separate video, and this video should be the one that puts me over 1,000 subscribers. So that is also very, very cool. Now, in order to bandage your cheese, you will need some sort of fat. I'm using lard because lard doesn't actually go rancid, whereas if you use something like butter, butter is going to go rancid. So if you are a vegetarian, you can't really use the lard because lard is rendered fat, but it is your better choice. But bandaging is a great way to wrap your cheese. Now you can vac seal it, you can wax it, or you can bandage it, or you can just naturally let the rind grow on it. Don't know what I'm doing with a knife. So, in order to bandage this cheese, we first are going to want to give it a good coat with the lard, get a nice seal on it. Now the great thing about bandaging is if any mold grows on your cheese, it's going to be growing on the bandage rather than the actual cheese itself. So once the cheese has matured, this cheese will take about a month to mature. Then you can just take it off, and then you just have the cheese underneath. As I say, this cheese, I was genuinely hoping it was going to be an in and out, just wham bam, done, 15-minute, shortest recipe on the website. Ow! Be careful when you're doing this. I've just flicked hot lard up my arm. I don't actually know how hot this is, but I'm going to say quite hot. Now you want to get a good surface coating on your cheese before you start bandaging, because you want to seal up any gaps that you've got. Now, because this cheese in particular was pressed at a very light weight, it was only pressed at like 9 kilograms, it's still quite a open curdy type cheese, which kind of confused me, concerned me a little bit. Okay, so that lard is currently 150 degrees Celsius. That is oddly deceiving because obviously it's not boiling. So, yeah, I'd probably let this cool down slightly, but yeah, that is up to you. I would recommend letting it cool down slightly, unless you're alright with splashing 150 degree fat up your arm. So yeah, you want to make sure this has a nice seal on it before adding any of your cloth bandaging to it. Now what would probably have helped as well is refrigerating the cheese. So when you put the lard on it, it does actually instantly harden. But hindsight is always there to get you. Now once again, back to the lard. As I said, it doesn't go rancid, and this lard that I've got will actually last until January next year. We're currently in May. So it will last a lot longer than butter as well. But yeah, what we're aiming for here is a nice, not thick coat, but just a coat on it to seal any gaps, just to stop anything getting in. We don't want any dry spots, so if I put the light on above I can actually see if it's glistening. Just want to yeah, so The outside of this is about 30 degrees, which is fine. But yeah, I'm gonna like do one side and then turn it over and do the other. Now I've just remembered that this lard is very hot while I am dipping this cloth in it. So this probably isn't the smartest move. That is indeed very hot. Now what you want to do is try and get your bandage, your cloth, your cheesecloth, as flat as possible to the surface of your cheese. Now if there is any gaps, you can, because we've got the sides, they are gonna nicely coat the cheese. So you just want a nice full covering on the cheese. You want to stick down any sticky out bits. If there's any annoying strings, you can just cut those off. You want this nice and flat to your cheese. Now where I have this like hem seal, like the edging, that's not the best. Let's see if I can just cut that off. Now as I say, this is some cheapo cheesecloth. So if you're using actual proper cheesecloth, you'll probably get better results. But I was thinking, because I'm just cutting this up and it is going to be sacrificial, we are not going to be reclaiming this cheesecloth. It is fine to just use cheapo, but now I have learnt the error of my ways. So we want to not learn from our mistakes last time, and we want to dip cheesecloth back in, and then because it is very hot we drop it in, and then we try and work out how we're going to get it out of the 113 degrees oil. As is tradition. Ooh, that is quite warm. Out of all of the warm stuff that I have touched today, that is probably the warmest. Now, I think this has shrunk. Dipping it in has shrunk it. Oh, I should have worn my like candy making gloves. That would have made so much more sense. Because they're like heat resistant gloves. Yeah, this is definitely shrunk down. Or I've just cut it very badly. Either or. I'm gonna go for the I cut it badly. Because this side looks alright. So yep, we want to wrap this around, once again smoothing it down as you go. You don't want any air bubbles in there. I've really got to stop touching the hot stuff. He says and proceeds to touch the hot stuff. So yeah, using your brush, just brush out any air pockets. Brushing it down. Stop touching it, you idiot. Still proceeding to touch it. So we've still got a hem on this side, so if we can cut that off. So you want it to slightly overlap top and bottom. And then this side hasn't actually been done yet, so if we just peel that back slightly, get a little bit of that on the top just to seal off the top. Now I am going to do at least 2 layers. Have I got one that doesn't have one of those hems on it? Any of you, like all of you, have hems on? Why? You don't. See, what you're looking for is a nice, snug, full coating. And of course we've got stupid hem. We might be alright on this one. So we're going to cut it back slightly. A very not great way of cutting. A very not great way of speaking as well. There we go. And may as well finish off this side as well. There we are. Right, to get you nice and flat. Get this hem up and over, at the ends, up and over. We have a little gap there, but that can be sorted out. And the gap on this one. Just to seal the end down as well. So in total we've done 2 layers inside, well 2 layers on the side and then a layer on each end. And this is well saturated. So what we want to do is probably... Ugh. Taking off those gloves was an experience. Put some tinfoil down, like on a plate. I'm going to stick this in the fridge to firm up, hopefully. Right, so we are back for take 2. This time I've actually plugged in my microphone. Yeah, so this is the finished product of bandaging the cheese. Now I'm going to let this set in the fridge and flip it. Now this is going to go like in the cheese cave, I believe, rather than the actual fridge. So it actually ages at the temperature it's supposed to. But if I was to redo this again in the future, other than the fact that I've still got some of this left, this very open mesh cheesecloth, I'd recommend going for like a tighter mesh cheesecloth. If you compare the two, like night and day, this one would obviously hold on a lot more, whereas the looser knit, a bit more of a pain, but we got there in the end. But anyway, this wraps up, hopefully, and most likely, my last video under 1,000 subscribers, unless you see me on one of those like downfall channels, which hopefully you won't, because I don't really have anything that should cause a downfall, unless just stop uploading is a thing. But anyway, yes, this is the final product of bandaging the creamy Lancashire, or this is the final product of the actual Lancashire cheese. Now I've got to go and try and edit this video without my computer blue screening. and I'm on a time frame because I've got to go to bed soon. So, once again, thank you everyone that has been here for the below 1,000 subscribers journey, and I will see you all again next time. Thanks for watching.